It's crazy that technology is driven by war.
It's not driven by war, but it is funded by war.
No, it's driven by war.
It's not driven by war.
No, look at
I don't think scientists are out there necessarily thinking I'm going to create. That's
if
what
you
I'm
look
saying.
the HUDs on fighter aircraft.
I don't think
the computer
Einstein
systems
was like, "Oh, I want to destroy the world by creating the formula to make a nuclear bomb."
I think you say like funded. Like I think funds are what push it, and funds come from war funds, and they push technology.
Well, that's but Einstein didn't make the nuke.
Well, he
didn't make it being funded. Nor did he
but
make
at the
it
same
to
time, though,
destroy
but
the
it
world.
drove it forward.
But at the same time, Oppenheimer and his whole group knew what they were doing, and that was funded to make.
But I'm just saying,
the bomb.
Einstein didn't.
Yeah, but his thing wasn't. He technically wasn't
in the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, he wasn't really part of making his knowledge wasn't funded under the premise of we're going to make this. Yeah, that wasn't connected.
But that's all I'm saying. And it was his knowledge that was the allowance to make the nuke, right?
I think that's a little
I'm giving him
generalized. But it's a whole body of work by.
But it's like Newton relativity. With how much relativity has to do with stuff, I don't think he was funded to be like, this is
well,
gravity.
that's a completely different area. You can't really apply that to what we're talking
Newton's
about
law, so that's a different thing. Like scientific law is different than technology, where like Newton's law of relativity
gravity.
Yeah, but
law of relativity.
But Newton's law came from like apple falling and seeing and stuff like that, which is and it was not him creating anything. It was him witnessing something and being like, "Oh, I just saw this. Let me apply it." And then there's the law.
But I feel like that's how Einstein would created the premise of nuclear fusion.
That was I think it was all theoretical because there was no evidence of fusion except for the sun, and we don't have anything back then to observe what are the processes to create fusion. I get what
you're saying, but I'm just trying to show the similarity in both of what they're doing.
But yeah, I mean, look at
they're not out there trying to create destruction of the planet. But what they create or what they've shown witness to is easily shown destruction to people.
But taking it forward, I think war drives technology because we wouldn't have a lot of this stuff without it. Supercomputers that are on airplanes. I think
because scientists drive tech, and I think
scientists work for the government, which work for the military.
But I don't think that they go into their job wanting to.
They don't. But that's what they're funding it for.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not talking about I'm not talking about individual contributions. I'm talking about as a whole. Warfare drives technology forward. Look at our military spending. Most of that stuff a lot of GPS is derived off of military technologies. A lot of the technology we have is derived off of military technology.
This is a great point. I think you'll both agree. Do wars drive technological advancement? Yes, but no. Yes, because we see technology advance at a faster speed during wartime, but not because war itself. It's because innovation happens at a faster pace whenever there's a sort of competition.
Very true.
So you could say, in that sense, war does push it, but not because
the smartest of minds aren't going into. They're not saying I'm the most brilliant of minds to destruct the world.
No, but I will say that I always see this in terms of it's always presented in movies, so I don't know how real it is, but I take it as somewhat. If the money's there,
you're gonna follow.
They're gonna do it,
of course.
And so it seems like
what's the field of dreams? If you build it,
but
come.
But it does seem like in the sense then it's I know where this is going. I know this in the terms of the Soviet Union versus the U.S. specifically for you think about everything in Cold War.
China. Oh, you're talking about.
But I'm thinking, like from Germany, from end of World War II into the Cold War, you knew everything was going. So it's not like a scientist could be like, oh, I don't think my work is going to, destruction. It's like dude, you know.
They're privy to what's going on. Look at NASA. The beginning is that it's rooted in Nazi scientists,
but also if
Werner von Braun.
If you're a brilliant mind in mathematics, statistical, and stuff like that, you need something to push the envelope, right?
And that would
but
be
that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like military funding is what we get the most of.
But I'm saying the pushing of the point isn't the killing, it's the funding. And you're saying the funding is what happens because of the
No, but one wouldn't happen without the other. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's yin and yang.
Do you think then a peaceful society stays?
It wouldn't like peace doesn't drive things forward.
No,
but that's what I mean. So like,
yeah, exactly. I don't think we would have that without.
We can't have.
Well, no, but like, think about this.
If there was peace, then there would be no meaning for existence.
Well, I don't agree with that.
Why not?
That's like kind of like an abstract.
Because
things, I feel like.
meaning for existence doesn't revolve around the idea of peace or no peace. Meaning for existence generally revolves around what's I and me in this whole scenario.
But what's I and me in most scenarios has to be better than you.
You're talking about, but I feel like that's individual thing. Applying it to a societal thing, I don't think those are necessarily connected.
I mean, take for instance Costa Rica. They don't have a military. Okay. They don't have a military. Quite likely, we would if that was if we had a country with a military and a country without a military, and they both started at the exact same time. They all have the same exact resources
police,
and everything. Right?
They have some sort of.
I mean, without an industrial military complex is basically what I'm using. If you start two of them at the same time, the one with the industrial military complex is most likely going to be the more advanced, and the one that isn't.
But because they're not pushing the envelope on the one that isn't.
Yeah, but I think at the same time they have meaning and purpose in life.
I'm not saying they don't.
Well, so that's why I don't necessarily.
I'm not saying they don't.
Well, no, but that's saying with like peace and stuff, like they have peace.
I would like I see what you're saying, but I would take the peace. We live in a
shared reality. When someone else is pushing the envelope, you can't just be like, "I'm going to live in the tree forest."
Well, what's your term of peace? Because I think what you're saying more is just like
that's like
competition.
That's what it is.
But then that's not really peace. Like we're not like to me like
what is peace? I don't know if humans can have peace.
But I'm saying like it sounds like you're talking about competition, and you're saying that competition is what is not peace. Like competition is not peaceful.
Well, because like look at like the U.S. and China is like there is peace. Sports. But there's competition.
That's why we love sports. That's why we have a team. That's why you choose something.
That's not peace though. Like
how do you define peace? How do you define peace? Because I know
unintangible.
No, how do you define it?
It's unintangible.
What?
No, individual basis.
What?
It's something that
when you have a peaceful day. What's a peaceful day?
It's not a peaceful day because there is something adversary in that day. There is no such thing as absolute peace. That is my definition.
Well, we're not talking about absolute peace. Like what's
peace?
Then how can you use the word peace? If you're saying there's no such thing as peace, then what is peace? You can't use a word and have it mean nothing. That doesn't make sense.
There is no way that everyone on this planet can coincide with goodwill intentions for every other person.
So what peace is to you is coinciding in goodwill intentions.
Yes.
So somehow coinciding goodwill intentions equals you can't have that in competition? Because like to me,
no, you can't. Because to me,
peace is just absence of war and hostility. That's all.
That's your opinion.
But that's what I'm.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think that like, when you're watching a baseball game, you're like, wow, this is war.
But it is to certain people.
I mean, maybe so.
You don't think the managers? You don't think the big wigs, the owners?
I don't think it's war in the sense of you're taking land and killing, and you're trying to put money to achieve.
But it is. You are taking
destruction.
money. You're garnering money. Let's look at.
But you're not. There's no. But like baseball. Besides a football,
basketball,
like America, there's like.
But there's not
violence.
Destruction.
There's violence.
There is
peace,
on the field.
No, I'm talking. You're using that. Then you're saying that as metaphorical.
Those are.
But you're saying that as metaphorical.
Yes.
I'm not talking metaphorical.
I get you.
I'm talking about real war with destruction and death.
I get that, but it's easy to change the pieces from wherever you're sitting.
But then, but you're talking about something that's different. Like inconsequential in the big picture versus like death and thing. You're talking about a sport versus war. I don't think you can compare the two.
I can because I'm saying.
But you're saying metaphorically, though.
No. The people that are funding. Perpetuating the war, look at it exactly as being a soccer manager or a coach of a team.
I don't believe they are.
They're looking at destruction of that place at all will possible.
I don't think so. I think like in the terms of like
I'm saying in war.
Yeah, and in war, I think it is destruction.
That's all I'm saying.
But I don't think that is.
It's the same as a coach. How can we break down that defense? How can I break down that player?
But
how can I break down their weakness to execute?
But in that scenario, there is no stealing of land or resources. There's no death or killing. There's no.
But that's only to your
there's
opinion.
no slaving.
No, that's your opinion.
No.
That's a factual thing.
No. Don't just say it's opinion.
It's not.
Tell me then a scenario
because
in the basketball
it's real to
game.
the players.
No.
It's not real.
No.
Why is it not real to the players? You're not a player, nor am I a player. But I'm saying, how can you tell me that that's not a real war?
They know that they're going home at the end of the night. They know that they're not killing people at the end of the day.
I mean,
that's a fact.
Like I know,
you can be competitive. You can be competitive at the highest level, but you know that you're not ending a person's life.
Unless it was Rocky IV, in which case
I don't know about
3.
football. I think football, but I don't know about basketball. But almost every major sport, there's been death on field during game.
Yeah, but you're not going.
You're connecting two different things.
No,
I'm saying the mentality is the same. That's all. The mentality is exactly the same.
I think that's a really big statement to say. Given the fact that we've never been there, I mean, you could say the same thing to me. So this conversation,
you don't think Patrick Mahomes or Kelsey wanted to go and kill the other team on last Sunday?
Kill? No, I don't. Because
metaphorically kill.
There's no metaphorically and fucking physically
dude.
When you're saying war and
different.
sports.
You can't turn it.
You can't say use a metaphorical.
But you guys are talking.
You're talking about in absolutes.
But you're talking about specific parts of war. We have warriors, let's just say, that sit behind a computer, don't touch any kind of real combat, but are killing people, right?
Yeah.
Drone flyers, right?
Yes, and that's war.
But I'm saying they don't have the same cognization of being on the front line as a infantry.
They don't have to. They know they're killing people. They're going into their job saying, "I'm sitting down and I'm killing people today."
You see, like. You see people so? Like I've seen interviews with people. They're like they watch the aftermath of their actions. They don't sit there.
They don't. I feel like they have a different.
They know. They can't just like tune out after they launch a missile.
I get that they know, but I don't feel like they know to the degree as an infantry.
But it doesn't.
Person.
It's not the same as like a football.
They're killing people.
A football player versus a drone operator is not the same thing. You cannot say that is.
I think I can.
Yeah, you can. That's your opinion.
I mean, do you think, for the sake of it, when it's Iron Chef,
okay,
you think that they're both going to war?
I think that they think that they are. Yes,
you really do,
bro. I don't feel like I'm telling you.
I'm not trying to like annoy you.
Anyone at the top of their game is feeling like this when they're in combat. It is combat. Whatever you want to call it, it's a game. It's combat.
All right, that's your opinion.
I get that, but I look at it as when you're on the top of your game.
Yeah,
it's combat.
Okay. I mean,
you're not giving them any kind of inch to win.
What do you mean?
But winning is not war. Is not winning.
That is war.
What are you talking about?
War is a game of winning. What is winning?
You haven't. I have had family in the military. You have they do not talk about winning and losing.
What do they talk about?
Dying.
They talk about manning checkpoints, and they have to. It is on them.
And were they the people that started the war? Josh. You're talking about the soldiers.
Bro, I'm talking about what my brother told me. He's manning a checkpoint, and people, if they don't stop, they have to fucking shoot. They have to fill the car full of bullets. You think that's the same as like, I'm stopping somebody at the 10-yard line? You think that's the same?
I'm asking.
That's fucking insane.
I'm asking you to think of literally 10 steps above what your brother was doing and commanding people that are like dictating these wars. They're not looking at life like the way you're talking about it, Josh. I'm sorry to say it, but they're not.
I'm sorry, but athletes aren't looking at life like that either.
I feel like they are. It's
life or death. I think
it's really important.
I'm like getting a first-hand account from a soldier, and I haven't gotten a first-hand account from an athlete. I can't say that, but I think you're two different things, dog.
I agree with you, Josh. I'm not going to say it's because this is not the same thing. But what I'm saying is the mentality when you're at the top of a sport, I feel like is exactly being like infantry. It's them or me.
I mean, I mean, when you have life on your line,
I know and
I
you guys
hear
are
what-
putting that line, but
because we're talking because
I know,
because Trey
I know.
because Trey
I
no
hear
no
you.
'cause- no
Because
no
it's
you
like-
don't
think you
no
do.
you don't hear us because we are talking about war and you keep on trying to lower that down.
Isn't
And-
war a game?
See, there's you go again. We're not talking about it. We're talking about the fact that you are shooting for your life.
Is war not a game?
You're
It
shooting
is not. That's why there's
Trey,
called war games.
You're shooting for your life, man. Like, let's just like cut the bullshit. No one's throwing a football to the idea that if they don't do this, if I don't make this tackle, they're going to kill me. Kill me. That's not going through their head. That's not going through their head. That's not. If that was going through the head, you would see so many more fights on the field. You would see people ripping themselves, just beating the fuck out of each other because they would actually be fighting to the death because death is war. That's not happening.
I feel like I get what you're saying of like the top degree of competition, but like that's a kind of a disrespect to people who are like
Dying
dying,
for our country. and
not
shit,
even like
man.
not even dying, but like risking their life, like bullets, feeling bullets like go past
No,
you.
I
I can't
I
can't
get what
relate,
you guys
but
are saying
like,
too, but that's also the same.
But you're giving this-
disrespect- No, that's also the same disrespect that they're calling a professional athlete as just saying they're playing a game.
But they are playing a game.
They know that they're
and
playing
they
a
will
game.
say that. Every single person, they go, wow, I can't believe I'm making this much money. My life is the best. I get to come here. I get to play the game that I love. They don't say I get to go to war that I
There's
love.
no soldiers that do. Listen to what I'm saying before you get crazy. There is no soldiers that say that.
There are. But I'm telling you that football people aren't saying that.
do you not hear? Do you not hear like
come on, man.
the interviews of athletes that are like, you know, I'm just playing a game. There are soldiers out there that are risking their lives so I can play this game. Have you not heard
talking
those?
About the people like.
What are you
Excuse me,
talking about then?
If you don't get the connection of what I'm talking about, but I'm saying the people that are sending the soldiers into the war have the same mentality as, say, an owner of a sports team or whatever. About
That's the first time you've said that exact thing in this whole conversation. I just want to point that out.
But that's why I'm telling you, because I like you guys are not understanding what I'm saying.
Because literally, it's the first time because you were saying that war and
'Cause it-
sports are the same.
Again, war is a game. I'm sorry if you guys don't look at it that way.
What are you saying? Sorry, you're just
But war-
understand
yeah.
that you're expressing an
War,
opinion.
Yeah, war is a game.
So
war is a
expre-
game.
So say it that
It's carried out with a victor and a loser.
So then what you're saying is my opinion is
My opinion
There you
is
go.
the people who are at the very top and say the military as implementing people, infantry, soldiers, they have a similar or same mentality of like a football owner for their team. It's just we're winning. I'm not talking about the soldiers.
but the whole conversation that we started on was that. So I don't understand how you just decided.
No, I'm
to
just
change
saying
the
war is
conversation.
just
I think
like-
you're just backtracking on it because it's like I still don't agree with you in that like somebody who's sending these soldiers out in a conflict, they're like, we have a certain amount. If those don't fail, we send out more. They're cognizant of losses,
But it
of
doesn't affect them.
casualties.
right?
If in sports,
I'm saying
you're
this-
getting injuries.
Yeah, you're getting see.
It's not the same
I
thing.
get it. It's not the same thing, but I'm saying that the
But to draw a line to like say this is anywhere on the same level for any amount in anybody in the military is very disrespectful. I think they have a competitive mindset, yeah, but it's not anything like I think that no matter if you're a general and you haven't been on the battlefield, like I do think that they have a weight in their decisions rather than like a coach or a team owner. Like I do not think it's the same.
so war and sports in definition is different to you.
Yes.
The definition of war in sports, yes, that's different. But I think so. Just backtrack. This all just came because the idea you said that peace isn't real, and that
I
can't
just said
be.
I don't think it can happen.
Yeah, and
Achievable.
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 And I think it was just saying about technology and stuff like that, and really,
You're right. That's where it all.
and really, what I think it does, what we were saying is, in the peaceful community, you don't have technological advances, where in
A
a
lot
war
less.
community, you have technological advances, which kind of goes with the idea that war pushes technological advances.
But that's
but again, not
this is where
exactly not because the war itself, not because the killing itself, but because the battle between the two. But still, potato.
No,
battle.
But you're absolutely right, because that's exactly where the difference is.
Yeah,
it's like these scientists know what they're working for, but they want to have technological advancement. They want to push the envelope, but they know that the military is going for, like, they are directly funding them. Yes. They know what they're.
But if you're not getting funding from somewhere else,
and then at the end of the day, they go, "Oh, I didn't know this. I just wanted my rockets to take."
Just like the dude who made the Glock switch.
Oh yeah,
who uses the Glock?
Yeah.
You know what it can do. You know what it will do. You know what I mean?
I did a terrible thing.
Yeah, you can't just go back and say, "Yeah, you made it, dude." Like,
yeah,
you started it. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I won't say there is really no comparison beside the fact that I feel war is a game like sports, but I would never say that a soldier does any of the same thing as a professional athlete, because they are, like we would say, be playing a game versus playing for their life.
Yeah.
So on that note, what is this yeet passes